Business owners are taking matters into their own hands. Check this out from the New York Post. It says business owner installs electric fence for extra security to combat out of control break-ins. This is happening in Tacoma, Washington. It says business owners in Tacoma, Washington are taking an electrifying new approach to combat criminals. Aberg's Tools and Equipment Rental owner Alex Bacon installed electric fences to deter criminals after a series of break-ins. This is a fantastic idea. He says, obviously, people are very scared of it, which is what we wanted. We don't want anybody getting hurt. We want people staying off our property. That's why we put the original fence up, but we had to go to the electric fence because extra security. Bacon said prior to installing the electric fence, he relied on a normal fence to protect his business. After numerous break-ins and continued damage to the fence, he decided he had to find a better alternative. It was just nightly break-ins, always in the middle of the night, waking me up, taking me away from home. Coming in, fences cut wide open, like in the camera there, he shows. Costly repairs. Every time I have an emergency fence repair, you're talking $1,000. Roughly to the point where I started driving around with a roll of fencing in my car. I fixed myself because it was being broken into so frequently. This is nuts. He says in addition to the fencing damages, costly repairs, he also lost thousands in goods ranging from small hand tools to employee trucks. So these scumbags were going on property and stealing his trucks. This is nuts. It was just out of control, he said. He says this DC voltage. It runs off batteries. It's not hooked up to the power grid. It's painful to hit and it will continue to go, but there's no amperage. It's not going to kill you. So here's a picture of it right here. You can see this electric fencing, and this is obviously going to be a fantastic, very effective deterrence against these scumbags trying to break into the store, because they see that, they don't want to get shocked. I mean, they're not stupid. Let's see. It says the city of Tacoma has not been immune to the crime plaguing many cities across the U.S. From city data from May. However, noted a drop in homicides, violent crime, and property crime so far this year, which is being attributed in part to the hiring of more police officers. Data from the Tacoma City Manager's Office posted in May that shows homicides dropped 35% so far in 2023 compared to the same time last year. In addition to violent crime being down 19.5%, burglaries are down 52.7%, and property crimes down 27.2%. As you can see here, his former fencing with the barbed wire and probably a 6-foot fence, but people were just cutting right through it without even worrying about any consequence or anything, because they just get right through, wouldn't get shocked, and get out with what they needed or what they wanted. Since last May, the Tacoma Police Department went from being 55 officers short of its ideal staffing level to 31. So they've hired 24 police officers, which has helped. It said despite the encouraging statements from local officials, the decrease in crime statistics provided by the city does not tell the full story. According to the head of the local police union, who says that the city is engaged in a shell game and that there is much more to be done. Of course, they're going to try to make it sound good and look good, but the police officers know what's really going on. We're comparing this year's crime to record-breaking years the last 2 years, so it looks like a decrease. But if we take a step back, really, that's not what the community is seeing. Crime is still really high. We're still short a lot of cops. While the data suggests a drop in crime, Bacon seemed to agree with Bett's statement, the president of the police union, that crime remains a persistent issue. We do have great police here in Tacoma, but their hands are tied, just like in a lot of places like San Francisco, New York City, Los Angeles. They're not allowed to do anything. Decriminalization is allowed everywhere. There is no illegal activity anymore. The criminals have been just been set free, and the police can't do anything about it. They're not allowed to. We've got a really good push from the police. They're very helpful. They're very apologetic, but unfortunately, they can't do anything. Nonetheless, due to the success he has found using the electric fence, Bacon is urging the Tacoma City Council to consider allowing other businesses to use the fencing. It says currently the fences are only allowed for use in industrial areas. He says city council's got to allow people to have this fence because it's just been absolutely amazing for my business. So, like he said, the police, their hands are tied. When you have soft on crime DAs, you have a mayor or a governor who's soft on crime. A lot of times these things will have an impact on these small communities or just mid-sized cities, wherever you go. Actually, if you have a district attorney who's soft on crime or city council, it's going to make it very tough for the police. And the police, in most cases, do their job. And they can only do so much. They can arrest people, they can lock you up, but it doesn't really do anything. It's kind of useless if they're able to get out of jail the next day or the same day, for that fact. That's why it's very important to vote in your local elections, because these people have a direct impact on your life. A lot of cases, these elections are more important than the bigger the Senate races or the presidential races. Your local elections are actually what impacts you directly, your everyday life, with your city council, your school board, district attorney, mayor. Those things have a direct impact on your everyday life, which is why I vote in every single local election in my city. And we have a very effective city council. We have a very effective district attorney for our county. So I live in a good place. The mayor is tough on crime. He's great. But anyway, I think this guy here he had no choice but to take matters into his own hands. You see, these criminals don't care. A police officer in my community said criminals don't care about gates or fences. They really don't. It's really a false sense of security, because all they can do, they can jump over it, and you see here, they can just cut right through it and go through. So yeah, I mean, it's sad that we have to go this route, that business owners have to do these types of things. But when they live in a place run by Democrats, soft on crime places, they have to take these measures because they can't trust the people there that are elected there to protect them to do anything about it, to do the right thing. So kudos to this guy. Hopefully the city council will listen to what he has to say, and business owners will be allowed to do this. But how about the people of in Tacoma, in the county there, vote in tough on crime people? Simple, and the problem solved. And people in the state of Washington in general, specifically, like places like Seattle, these bigger cities, they bring a lot of this stuff down for the rest of the people who who want to live in a safe community, who vote Republican. But all right, guys, thanks for listening. Like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Thank you. Take care.